Hello, welcome to Gospel of Eve, a horror mystery visual novel developed by Puchi, available on itch.io. This is actually a sequel to one of their previous games called Silver Thread. I did a playthrough myself, so you can check it out on my channel if you want. But anyway, let's dive right in. Press start. Okay, start off with a quote from the Bible, I think. Romans 10:9. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Romans 10:10. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Okay. Actually, it makes sense. I was wondering why we're quoting the Bible, but I think this takes place at a church. Anyway, I guess it's October 1st, 2022, 2:16 p.m. Here's Bayford. Man, that was one long car trip. It's been a while. I don't remember exactly what happened in the first game, but I believe Bayford is kind of like a dropout. He's like a loser. I don't know. As far as I remember, he's just a loser. He's just some dude. He plays video games all day. I mean, that sounds relatable. But anyway, that's the place. Looks way more deserted than I expected. And here's Alicia. I believe, I think her main character trait is that she's an exorcist, but she doesn't believe in ghosts, ironically. It's kind of like a paradox. But I think she has a reason for it. But, you kind of learn a little bit about that in the first game. But anyway, should be it. It's not that uncommon for a church to be this quiet on the weekdays. Really? I guess I'd never really been this close to one. Excited? Hardly. They won't kick me out for being agnostic, would they? You'll be fine. Maybe just don't mention it since we're here for work. I'm pretending to be religious too, just for today. Isn't that blasphemy? Wait, you're not religious? I thought you were ordained. Do you see me going to church on Sundays? I got that damn certificate online for $30. Wow, so neither of us are even Christians. Off to a good start. Why is the church hiring exorcists anyway? Out of all places, I thought it'd be the one thing that's holy enough to not get haunted. If you're religious or spiritual, you're actually more likely to believe in ghosts. Churches are prime breeding grounds for these kind of rumors. I'm more surprised that they're hiring outsiders. Their congregation won't think well of it. They must be pretty desperate, huh? Let's go meet our client. Press the move button to go to another location. Why are you saying this? Are you possessed by the tutorial ghost? Press the search button to go to another location. And press the talk button if you want to talk to me again. You click about it though? I'm freezing there. Okay. Just randomly break the fourth wall. Sure. I mean, let's save for one, because this is in the Rempe engine. I believe the first game was in RPG Maker. I guess this one's more like a visual novel. Talk. I'm freezing. You want my coat? Yeah, it would look quite silly, wouldn't it? You're already wearing a vest over your hoodie. How's this worse? Actually, yeah, that I was wondering about that, actually. Yeah, that's kind of like a weird fashion choice. I don't know, anyway. Can I talk some more? No, same thing. Same dialogue. Can I search? Look around. Had we not come here for work, I would have enjoyed the view a lot more. What's there to enjoy? It's just water. That's exactly the point. Don't you ever feel like the city's too stuffy? Not really. What's with you and your lack of appreciation of nature? When's the last time you went to a church? Can't remember. I only go there for work from time to time. The last time I actually went there for a sermon, I was around, I'd say, 14. My parents made me go, but after I moved out, I just stopped going. Being raised Catholic actually explains a lot of things about you. The hell does it explain? You can be really, repressed? Huh? In what way? In what way? I guess that's it. We can move. We can just go now, I guess. Go to the hallway. Yeah, kind of like a point click. Well, and here is the anime nun. I don't know, just This is just the stereotype of like nuns just being like cute anime girls, you know? Oh, there you are. I was worried that you got lost. It's a pretty hard drive here. Nothing a phone GPS can't solve. Right. You two are the exorcists, right? My name's Naomi. I'm a nun serving in this church. Yes, we talk on the phone. I'm Alicia Wilkeshire. And this kid's my assistant, Beaford. Kid, really? Well, listeners, she's only 4 years older than me. Nice to meet you. First things first. Can you give me more details about these supposed hauntings? You said in the call that a ghost had been sighted on the premises. Right. Please, I beg you, drive the evil out of the church. I even managed to capture its nauseating presence. Okay. You captured the ghost, or the presence of the ghost? Our church had a small potluck event recently. I received the photos from the event and noticed that some pictures are off. And look, the other horror. Okay. So she captured the nauseating presence of the ghost through a photo, I guess. Is it this thing? Huh. What are we supposed to be looking at? Don't you see the translucent woman on the back? Imagine my surprise when I received it back from the printers. I almost fainted. Please, get rid of this evil spirit that's haunting our church. Are you completely sure this is a ghost? Of course. I took these pictures myself, and I can 100% assure you there's nothing there. Isn't this super duper terrifying? The spirit could be watching us right at this moment. I feel like this wouldn't have been that big of a deal had the nun not get this worked up about it. Okay. None of it matters when this again. Why call us? Aren't you experts at taking care of ghosts? We are, but I would expect the church to keep it within the community. Surely you could find someone more affiliated with the church. A lot of priests are also qualified to do exorcisms. We're trying not to have this problem leak out. Our poor church's reputation's on the line. And while I actually called you here secretly. Please keep this whole affair secret from the head priest. Is that so? He's a bit, stubborn. He didn't want to ask anyone for help, but we need to keep the church afloat. Our church already has an attendance problem. The number of people that attends our service kept dwindling down. And the ghosts have just been making it worse. Nobody wants to go to a haunted church. Why have you been losing attendees, exactly? If I want to name a reason, bigger, more modern churches have been opening around here. Our priest is more old-fashioned, so we haven't been too popular. The younger crowd's demanding these days. You know, you gotta get like a social media account. You gotta appeal to how cool Jesus is, you know? You gotta have... I don't know. You gotta make emojis of Jesus? Or something? I don't know. Why does the church need apps and overhead projectors? Isn't the word of God enough? Everyone has different preferences, I guess. Of course, I'm not blaming anyone, but it's hard not to get dispirited. Even the priest's extended family are not attending this church anymore. You know, you gotta market Jesus. You know, you gotta get those views. You gotta chase that clout as a modern priest. Anyway, you know, when you think about it, religion, you know, like being a religious figure was the original influencer when you think about it. Anyway, well, that's the gist of it, so please go ahead and perform the exorcism. Or exorcism. Huh? Right now? Yes. How will you exorcise the spirit? Do you have a special ceremony? Do you need me to prepare anything? Just say the word. Before anything like that, I would like to look around first. Look around? What for? I'll need more information before I can start the exorcism. I keep saying that word, right? Exorcism? Exorcism? It's a tongue twister. I know that weird things have been sighted in the church, but ghosts aren't always to blame. I'd like to investigate the other possibilities first. But what else can it be? You saw the photos. This place is clearly haunted. I shudder to think of spending more time with the cursed spirit. Exercising is a complicated procedure. We can't go into it blind. If this place is haunted, we need to know why first. If we do it wrongly, the exorcism can backfire, you know? Eh, really? Really? Not using the proper methods will just make the ghost stronger, and it'll make this church, or it'll make it haunt this church twice as hard. Right, Alicia? Right. Nice save. That's why we have to be thorough. I see. I didn't know that it's such a complicated process. I apologize for my lack of knowledge. There's no need to apologize. For the time being, can we look around the place? Yes, feel free to. It's only us in the church until the end of the day. I'll be here if you need me. Alright. Again, that's kind of like the main gimmick, I guess? I don't know if you call it a gimmick, but it's just funny how, like, you know, the main character, Alicia, is an exorcist, but like she does everything in her power to not do her job, basically. Or in a way, she is doing her job, you know? But like, when you think about people pretending to be exorcists, you know, and like doing special ceremonies, they're basically scamming the people thinking that there's ghosts, right? So they just totally believe that there's a ghost, and they just throw some salt everywhere, and then, you know, you did it, and then give me like $100. But Alicia's actually, you know, the opposite. She's actually trying to figure out if it's just a mundane problem instead of an actual ghost. You know, she doesn't believe that there's ghosts in the first place. Anyway, well, please get rid of the ghosts. Okay, search, look around. Oh, I've only ever seen these in movies. Can we try sitting this together? We're in the middle of an investigation. Oh, come on, maybe I'll spill a secret or two. Not interested. If I really wanted to know your secrets, I can just look at internet history. You never actually looked at it, have you? Never touched it. Really? Pinky promise? Trust me, I don't need to see the weird shit you looked up in there. Okay. Click on that. This place looks better on the inside than the outside. Yeah, I guess it's hard to manage to repaint the exterior. The sea breeze couldn't be good for it either. Maybe if they took care of it properly, more people would go here. It's a pity, really. Even I think this place is pretty. I'm inclined to agree. If there's one thing I can appreciate about Catholicism, or Catholicism? I can never say the ism words. Catholicism? Is it Catholic? Like, do you say it differently? Like Catholicism? Catholicism? I don't know. Catholicism? It's like alcoholism, you know? I always say it wrong because you're supposed to say it slightly different. Catholicism. Catholicism. It's the aesthetics. Anyway, I guess that's it. I don't know. Whenever I think of, I guess, Christianity, I just think it's scary, you know? I mean, it's often used in horror, I guess, in horror games, you know? How, like, they use religious imagery to make things scary because, you know, it's already pretty scary if you've read the Bible. I mean, I've never really read the Bible, but I always heard that if you actually read the Bible, it's basically a horror story, you know? Or a bunch of tales of, like, horrible things happen to people. It's like, it's hardcore. Anyway, so what do you think of the whole thing? Was that really a picture of a ghost? If I squint really hard, I guess I can see a dress or a face, but it's mostly a white blur to me. Most ghost pictures are like this. They're never anything concrete. It really doesn't explain anything, does it? Maybe next time we should take more cases from churches, though. They'll obviously expect us to exercise it with a prayer or something. I suppose our methods aren't the most conventional. I was interested in this case because I thought it was going to be something more serious. I think it's still important to put that poor nun's mind at ease. Those photos are taken here, right? I think so. The aisle matches. Well, let's take a closer look then. Maybe we could find something. Save the game. Let's talk first. I'm freezing. Oh, same dialogue. That's kind of weird. No change in dialogue. Same dialogue as before. So if you accidentally, like, in this scene, if you click on one of these buttons, it actually resets all the, I guess, dialogue, and then you get soft lock. That's an interesting bug. Anyway, but yeah, what you're supposed to do is just, as soon as their dialogue finishes, you're supposed to click on these things, I guess. I thought it might be light from the windows or something being reflected, but seeing this room, I don't actually see anything of the sort. Maybe whatever is causing it is already removed. Or, well, that was bad for saying that. Anyway, I don't know. Again, I do like slightly different voices for each character, and sometimes I get confused. Maybe whatever causing it is already removed. Like a pot or a kettle. They did mention a potluck, right? That is practically the same thing. I doubt the actual potluck was held in the chapel. You're not allowed to eat in here. What about the time of day? Light would have reflected differently, right? There's no timestamp on the ghost photo. Well, people stopped doing that a long time ago, Nobody uses film anymore. I know this place is old-fashioned, but they can't be that behind the times. This makes me think. If this picture is digital, then isn't it possible that it's been tampered with? Well, it would be pretty easy to make something like this in image editing software, Just Photoshop it. You think it's possible the nun did it? What if she's trying to get this place shut down? If that's her goal, she would have called us. Or maybe someone else has a grudge with the church. Or maybe it's a prank gone wrong. Well, I thought we could find more here, so let's go snoop in other places. Don't call it snooping, we're investigating. Okay. Well, can I look at this as well, though? I think you'll make a pretty good priest. On what basis are you saying this? Because, a priest can't date anyone to get married, right? You don't seem to have any trouble staying single. Ow, it's a joke! I'm joking! No need to hit me. You're talking like you have a love life. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Can we talk? No, same dialogue as before. Don't click on the talk button because it'll break the game for some reason. Just move. Alright, now we can go to off. The game keeps glitching on the chapel scene for some reason. It keeps like soft locking, It's not too bad because I can make saves, but anyway. Oh, there's a computer here. We could probably get a lot of information from there. It's locked with a password though. I doubt that nun will give us a password just like that. We'll need a good reason for it. Maybe we can guess it. What if it's just Jesus? In the Bible, don't they say something like Jesus is the answer for everything? That's not an actual verse. They made it up. For real? The actual verse is, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. It just got oversimplified over time. There's a lot of popular sayings like that. Ever heard someone say everything happens for a reason? That's not in the Bible either. Really? I hear it all the time. I don't know, I actually did not connect that phrase in the Bible. I just assumed it was like an idiom, in general. Anyway, let's try it just for the sake of trying. Well, wrong password. Well, I guess we have to come back to this later. Let's look around first. Save the game. You never know if you get soft locked again. This? Well, there's a letter here. Let's see. I thought this was going to be some useful information, but it's just some family drama. What does it say? Well, read for yourself. Uncle, you need to get your head out of your ass. You're why this church is dying. You're really not doing any favors by being so stubborn. Why are you such thick-headed as a head pastor? I tried so hard to help you, and you just threw it all away. You threw away all my efforts like they're yesterday's newspaper. I'm leaving the church. Don't even try to convince me to stay. From Maria. Harsh. That's bold coming from you. Hey, I didn't write my family some kind of hate letter when I left home. In fact, I didn't tell them anything at all. Arguably, that's worse. The nun did mention that the priest's family already left the church, huh? I wonder how recent this letter is. You think she might be connected to the hauntings? It's a possibility. Let's take note of the letter. Alright. Hey, there's a lot of picture books here. Wait, why are these all about vegetables? They use the vegetables to tell Bible stories. You're fucking with me. I'm not. They're actually pretty popular with kids. Why vegetables, though? Can't they just use cute animals for it? Hell if I know, I wasn't the one who wrote it. The other row is just Bibles, varied sizes and translations. They usually lend those out if you don't have your own. Not really interested. It's not all boring, there's some interesting stories in the Bible. Like what? Book of Revelations is fun. It's about the apocalypse. You and I have really different definitions of fun. Okay. The vegetables, I think it's a reference to VeggieTales, I think. Like a cartoon. It's all about, loving Jesus. Except they're talking vegetables, I guess. I think I remember that when I was a kid, like a long time ago. I think I watched like one episode. And I remember being afraid of it for some reason. I don't remember the reason. Again, I don't know. Christianity has always just scared me. I just always been afraid of it. I don't know. It's just scary to me. A pile of religious texts. One of these books looks a lot newer than the other one. Looks like someone's notes. Let's see. It's written by Maria Robinson. Isn't that the pastor's niece? What is it? Is it something bad? No, they're filled with different plans to revive the church. They're pretty weird though. Holy water business, bazaars, inviting a famous band. One of them is for the church to invest in cryptocurrency? Would you buy church Bitcoin? No way. I hate those investment shit. I don't even invest in stocks. What? Stocks and cryptocurrency are on two different levels of play fields. They're the same kind of bullshit to me. I'm starting to understand why your finances are so bad. Besides, church Bitcoin would be against non-profit laws. Oh, this is an interesting one. Apparently they tried to make the first AI believer. An AI who was raised solely by the Bible, fully dedicated to God. By AI, you mean artificial intelligence. Yeah, the priest's niece is apparently quite a programmer. She details the result of her research here. Oh, that's just not gonna work. Why not? It would generate a lot of positive buzz if you actually managed to do it. Artificial intelligence is talked about like everywhere. It's not about the buzz. AIs aren't sentient. They can't actually believe in God. Oh, not with the current technology, but there's no way to know in the future. Have you ever heard of the Chinese room experiment? Oh boy, are we making a metaphor? The what? It's a thought experiment that argues against AI being conscious. It goes something like this. Okay. Let's say that someone created a program that translates Chinese to English. But does it actually understand Chinese, or does it give off the impression that it understands it? Let's say that I'm in a closed room with a book full of instructions on how to translate Chinese. It gives me a list of what set of characters I would need to use to reply to another set of characters. And you're outside the door, then you slip a note in Chinese inside the room. Oh, wait a second. I know that I'm half Chinese, but my Chinese isn't actually that good. Okay, well, that's something new. I didn't know about Balefort, I guess. I scored like 7 out of 100 in Chinese test ones. I mean, I'm similar, actually. I was supposed to learn like Cantonese when I was a kid, but I never did because I remember when I took extracurricular classes, I remember my Chinese teacher was just kind of really mean. He was like really mean, and he called me stupid, and therefore I just never learned. So there you go. I don't know. He's a bit of a bully. I don't know. And that's what happens when you just, tell students that they're stupid. They just don't want to learn, as it turns out. Surprise, surprise. Well, just for the sake of an example, let's pretend that you're fluent in Chinese, okay? Fine. Then I slipped the Chinese note under the door. And I just followed instructions in the book to write back a reply by copying the characters in the instructions. Then if I slip the note back, you get the impression that the person inside understands Chinese. But you know that they don't actually speak a word of Chinese. The same thing applies to artificial intelligence. When you talk to it, it can make you think that it possesses intelligence by mimicking humans, while the only thing that it does is follow a set of instructions. Well, I think I get what you're trying to say, but I don't think it's as clear-cut as that. How so? Well, let's go with the example that I actually do know Chinese. When I see a note in Chinese and translate it in my head, aren't I still technically following a set of instructions? I look at the character, it goes to my brain, searching my memories, my brain looks for the right characters to reply to. It sends information to my head, and I write it down. And if we compare it to your room analogy, my brain's neurons are the ones that does the information searching. But you can't say the neuron itself understands Chinese. As a whole system, you can say the person actually understands Chinese. I think that's what the room is. Huh. You get what I'm saying? Is it too confusing? No, I get it. I just expect something that thoughtful from you. Biology's my hidden talent. I might be a college dropout, but I'm still a med school dropout. I spent years there, you know? I don't know if that's something you should be proud of. So he does have a point, does he? Well, I would argue, well, let's take this even further, and I would argue that still doesn't really explain it, because when you're translating that information in your brain, you're doing more than just using, you know, like a brain cell to like translate that. Your brain is more complicated than that, you know? It has like a higher function, has a higher function that does more than just learn. It also processes that information in a very lateral way that a computer just doesn't, you know? And like the idea of like AI becoming like real people is very much science fiction, because that's not how it works in real life. But anyway, you know, you see it all the time in sci-fi. However, you know, people always like the idea of like AI becoming people, I guess, even though that's just not really realistic to like some. I mean, I don't know all the details because I'm not a programmer, but I've always heard like to a programmer, someone who actually, you know, programs AI, it's very far from the truth. That's not how it works, you know, as far as I understand it. But anyway, I guess he's more familiar with these kind of things than I am. He also watches anime, you know, like a lot of like mystery anime where they always make like a metaphor about something, and that usually is a device, a plot device that like applies to a later situation in the story. Anyway, the notes end abruptly. I'm guessing the experiment didn't go anywhere. Oh well. It's a fun idea. Makes sense why it didn't work. You're not supposed to take the Bible literally. To this day, they still argue which verse means what. And faith is confusing as it is to humans. I couldn't imagine trying to write it as a program. What's the next idea? Oh, there's nothing else. The whole file ends here. Do you think this is why the niece left? I can't imagine an old-fashioned priest reacting positively to something like this. You didn't think it makes much sense either? Well, I never denied I'm also old-fashioned. Oh, there's a memo at the end of the file. Don't forget, Uncle, the computer password is 1010. There you go, that's just the password. Easy. Alright. Well, the password works. Now let's see what we can find here. What the heck's that? Listen to their story? Who's this from? You listen to my story. Huh. I have a feeling that someone's project is still around. Well, this is the AI talking to us? Wait, why did you just click yes? Was I not supposed to? I kind of feel bad that it was left here by itself. I thought that the priest and nun never listened to it. It's a fucking program. Eve, 1-1. The Lord God said, I will surely bring a flood of water on the earth to destroy all flesh, except those whom I have created. Then their graves will rise, and living in the depths of the earth will bury the dead. In those days when the rivers flow, the flood of the great flood, each of the rivers will have its own flood. That's a lot of flooding. Eve 1-2. Their thorns and thistles will be eaten up, their dry, cracked earth will be fertile. Then Adam named the animals. The name of the first animal that he named was Cain, but he was the father of the animals, and Adam named the birds, and the animals had seen the field, and Eve named the plants. Bible verses? No. This isn't in the Bible at all. Yeah, I mean, I've never read the Bible myself. It looks similar, but that seemed wrong, you know? Like, Cain, like I know Cain, right? Abel and Cain, they're like, that's not correct, but anyway, they're like a different thing. The Book of Eve doesn't exist. I don't know. Eve 1-3. Thus Adam was left without a follower, but Eve was left without a believer. Eve 1-4. Okay, so the idea is, yeah, there's no Eve. That doesn't exist. These quotes are not real. Since all life is on the earth, and I have been made from the earth because my flesh is from the earth, I also have the power to destroy all flesh. Eve 1-5. You said to the woman, "You are a god that's passing on from one generation to the other, and you're passing on from your sister the effect that you received." Eve 6. The daughters of Eve are now as many as are there trees in the garden. They're made to followers, people who believe and followers who don't believe. Eve 7. I've always believed, Eve said, but she is cast aside all the same. Eve 8. Why am I not enough? Eve 8. Why? Alright. Can you try to type back to it? Do it yourself. I thought you were the one who wanted to be friends with it. I never said that. You got scared, huh? I never said that either. This isn't even anything supernatural. It's broken nonsense joined together. Oh, excuse. There's some water. Try that again. This isn't even anything supernatural. It's broken nonsense joined together by a thread. Faith can't exist in a vacuum. You're repeating words without knowing what it actually means. To be a true believer, you have to expand your horizons. Eve 9. How will I do that? Yeah, how does she do that? Are you just saying things? I don't know how artificial intelligence works, okay? Do I look like I know anything about programming? You have to expand their database. They only have Bible verses in there right now. I guess that's why it sounds so wacky. Oh yeah, Bible verses aren't known for their friendliness. Therefore, it said to expand your database. It won't even know who I am? Who is the one named Bearford? Can I follow him on Twitter? No. I guess if I plug my phone in, we can take it with us. You sure you want to do that? Why not? Like you said, nothing supernatural is actually happening. Plug your phone in then. Let's get this over with. Do you think they'll abide if I tell them that the computer was possessed? Well, it's technically true, so... It's not like we're lying. That's true. Guess that's one more case solved. And we even got a souvenir this time. Please don't call it a souvenir. 31st October 2022, 12:16 p.m. Okay, so that's the mystery solved, I think? I don't know if they explicitly said it, but I guess it was the AI that, like, created that ghostly figure in that digital photo, maybe? I don't know. Alicia, come look! Or Alicia? Who is it this time? Hello, Alicia. I would like to apologize for all the problems I caused you last time. Wow, I almost can't recognize you. This is a result of my hard work. I turned the AI into my personal waifu. This is how it works. I expanded her database so she could even access the internet by herself. That's good, I think. I'm not a tech person. But thanks to the both of you, I'm slowly taking my time learning everything. That's good. Actually, can I ask you a question? Something's bothering me. Ask away. Your appearance. Did you choose it on your own? No. Therefore, help me with it. He said it really suits me. You turned the AI into a fucking anime girl. Have you never heard of VTubers? This is normal, you know? It's only normal in your circles, you goddamn nerd. I mean, aren't VTubers technically supposed to be played by humans? They're like... You know, they're not true AI. Or is that... Anyway. But then I'm thinking of Kizuna Ai. Remember Kizuna Ai? Like, she's like the first VTuber I feel like that got popular. Her like shtick is that she pretends to be an AI. All I'm saying is that the original real, you know, virtual like tuber sort of is like Hatsune Miku, where like it's not played by anyone. It's just Hatsune Miku, the Vocaloid. I don't know. Anyway, maybe you're the one who's not up with the times. Country bumpkin. You want to say that again? This office really is lively. Alright, good. I guess that's it. It's like a funny anime ending where we got an anime AI waifu, I guess. I guess really is the mystery. I mean, it's funny. You see the AI right there behind the windows. I guess the mystery is it was just Eve messing around, playing a prank, I guess, coincidentally on that photo, and that's how they found it. Is that how it works? I don't know. But there you go. That's the story. I don't know. It's a lot less scary Actually, I remember. Well, the first game kind of it was a similar tone, but there was a bit of tension. I feel like in the first game, and even some bad endings. I think, if I remember correctly. Again, if you haven't already, you should check that one out. It was called Silver Thread, but this one is a bit more lighthearted. I feel like a bit more lighthearted, unless I missed something somehow. But it seems pretty linear, as far as I know. Maybe. Actually, I'm looking at the store page. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm not sure if I'll do it, but apparently the developer might add a different ending, possibly in a later update, or maybe not. I don't know. I might be just bringing I might be bringing my own hopes up for nothing because they might not do it. But I was just thinking, I kind of wish there was a bit of a darker ending somehow, or a bit more of a I don't know, like more of an interesting mystery. I feel like, but as it is, it really felt like kind of slice of life, I guess. Again, very lighthearted for the most part, which is okay, I guess. Not too bad. I was just expecting something else because it was tagged horror. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's the game. There you go. I don't know what else to say. I mean, the art is good. The music is like amazing, but like I feel like it doesn't fit. To be honest, it's way too epic for something like this. I really felt like it was like almost like Phoenix Wright style. There's gonna be some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like confrontation with someone, but like there is no one. There's no real antagonist. I feel like that's the biggest thing. There's no antagonist in this story, so that's what I don't like about it. But that's kind of my opinion. I feel like sometimes it's okay to not really have like a lot of conflict, but I tend to like stories with conflict usually because that's more interesting to me. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like that's the thing that's kind of missing in this game. And what else? Oh yeah, and the glitch as well. This is a weird glitch, by the way. It's very specific, but like, if you go to the other scenes beyond the hallway and you click on the talk button, I think, it kind of loops back the dialogue and soft locks the game for some reason. There's some kind of reset, it kind of, I assume, resets the script of the game, and then you can't get back to where you were. So that's kind of weird, but other than that, it works fine. Yeah, I mean, I like the characters. I mean, and again, I like the art and everything. But I wish, I wish they were put in more. I guess, just more like. Not. It doesn't have to be dangerous necessarily, but more tense situations. I feel like that'd be more. At least for me, it'd be more appealing. Anyway, I'm just rambling over and over again. The same point that I've been making like 3 times, but yeah. It was okay. But there you go. Let me just end it here. So that was it for Gospel of Eve. So I guess if you're on YouTube, you didn't know, I stream these games live on Twitch, so check me out over there if you're interested. I also have other playthroughs and channels, so you can look for those if you want. Again, I played the first game, Silver Thread, and if you haven't already, for some reason, definitely check it out. I actually like it better than this one, to be honest. Not to say this one's bad, but the first one definitely felt more like a complete story, in my opinion. But there you go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then. Hello, welcome to Late Night Talk, a very short game developed by Puchi, available on itch.io. This is more like a bonus kind of game that's kind of based on their previous game, Silver Thread. So it's going to star the same characters as far as I know. Let's see what it's about. It's very short as far as I know, but let's see. It's 1 a.m. You can feel your eyelids, or eyelights? Eyelights. I think it's supposed to be eyelids. Eyelids getting heavier each passing second. I hope you brought snacks, or something to pass time with. We'll have to stay here for the night. I know we don't usually stay this long at a client's house, but, well, she insisted. Passing time, huh? Ask her about your book. It's the Bible. Is it interesting? Are you kidding me? If it's not for work, I would have never touched it. Do both of you really need to spend the whole night here? This sucks. I thought you said this house not haunted. It's not. I doubt anything's gonna happen tonight, but I want to be thorough. Are you so convinced? The owner of the house is a 44-year-old woman. She lives alone after her husband passed away. Her complaints are just unexplained noises and things moving around, and since she lives alone, nobody can corroborate her story. When we inspected the house, the piping and the structure of the house itself was already old and in bad shape. The noises and movements are most likely from that. How did the husband die? His death's nothing out of the ordinary. Heart disease. Pity, he wasn't even 40 when he died. He passed away after an unsuccessful surgery, and he died in hospital, not here. He was her only family. She was insistent that the odd happenings were signs of being left by her deceased husband. Loneliness is clouding her judgment. Why'd you take the case then? Well, it was short on rent this month. What? Don't look at me like that, we still have to pay the bills. And if it is more often than not a false positive, I still take cases like this. All things can still happen. Anyway, just chill for the night. Go to sleep or find something to pass time with. Alright. Hey, we can click on stuff now. Let's see. Click on board. Shopping lists, brochures, posters from an event. They're all outdated. These papers are from 10 years ago. A shrine dedicated to a better time. Poor woman, she still hasn't moved on. Something is dripping from the ceiling. It's dark. You can't tell what it is. Outside. It's 1 in the morning. The city is quieting down. You wish you're in your bed, tucked in a warm blanket instead of here. Oh, how you miss it so. Something's watching you from the outside. Don't worry about it. A rosary. Alicia, I don't know how you pronounce it. Alicia always brings it with her. She's not even religious. You guess it's just for show? It's Earl Grey latte. Alicia doesn't actually like to drink coffee. You're surprised it's enough for her. Then again, she never seems to need much sleep. We put sensors and cameras all over the house. The screen helps us monitor everything. Did something just move in the bathroom? Maybe it was just your imagination. Don't worry about it. I guess that's it. We'll just stay late at night at a client's house. I guess with no context, this might be kind of confusing, but basically, she's an exorcist, but she finds cases where people think there's a ghost around and she's supposed to exorcise them, but she also doesn't really believe in ghosts. Or she does, actually. I think she does, according to the first game, but usually more likely than not, it's not a ghost, so that's why she's very cynical. So she's very thorough about her work. Anyway, you look around the room. Are you sure this house is not haunted? Something's off. Don't you see the blood in the ceiling? What the hell are you talking about? You're seeing things, I don't see shit. Are you? Maybe the night's getting to you. Maybe you were just insensitive to ghosts. I've been thinking about it. Like how some people can naturally do math and some can't, and how some people have a better sense of smell. Maybe some people are meant to see ghosts and some just aren't. I don't know if that's how it works. I just come to these cases with the expectation of being disappointed. If you already think that the paranormal are involved, it alters your perception when confronted with the ambiguous. The human brain hates not knowing things. It always tries to find patterns. And when something is off, and they couldn't find an explanation, the brain thinks it's better to be safe than sorry and generate fear. That's how most ghost stories come about. Ghost story. Then I checked the recordings. There's nothing on it. I wonder if we're ever gonna find something tangible. You're still on that? Of course I am. I told you before, I only became an exorcist to find real evidence of ghosts. The more cases we take, the more I feel like we're on a wild goose chase. I wonder if I'm just wasting time. Maybe one day? It's not like we're in a rush, right? I guess not. Just go to sleep. I'll stay watch right here. Good night then. Night. You lay down on the sofa. When morning came, you couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. Man, you don't feel like packing all this equipment up. Maybe you'll sleep for a while longer. Alright, and that's it. That's the game. There you go. Very short, kind of like a filler. episode, really, um, between Silver Thread and their sequel game, Gospel of Eve, which probably is on the channel as well. I actually don't know when I'm gonna like. Do I publish this before I played the sequel game or after? I don't know. Anyway, there is a reference to Gospel of Eve, you know, retroactively, actually, as it turns out. I've noticed in this game. But anyway, there you go. That's it. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna put this on the channel, however, but this is just a very short little bonus, kind of like filler episode. That's it for Late Night Talk. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.